It's time now for MediaWatch, and Emma James has been casting an eye over reactions to the Nobel Peace Prize awarded today to the Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos. Emma.
Yes, lots of reactions out there, as you might imagine, online, ranging from pleased to puzzled to disgusted and everything in between. Christopher Dickey in the Daily Beast perhaps sums it up best by saying that the road to hell, they say, is paved with good intentions. So, it would seem, is the road to the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, while Juan Manuel Santos and the FARC reached that agreement, of course, on a peace deal to end the 52-year conflict, it was, of course, then rejected just a matter of a few days ago by the Colombian public. As for reactions on Twitter, things like this being said, it just sort of feels like the Nobel Peace Prize Committee made this decision weeks ago and then didn't bother to find an alternative winner after, of course, that peace process proved to be unsuccessful. Another Twitter user, I'm a bit shocked. This is a much-needed boost, but doesn't solve the fact that we are on the brink of war again, and this particularly angry reaction here. This Twitter user asks why the puppet of the oldest, richest terrorist group should get the Nobel Peace Prize. And the image shows Santos portrayed as a puppet on the knee of Timochenko, the commander-in-chief of the FARC rebels. And this attitude perhaps goes some way to explaining why the Colombian public voted against that peace deal. Now, this article from Slate was actually from the day before that Peace Prize was handed out. Looking at the front runners, they'd actually discounted those behind the Colombian peace deal, thinking that they wouldn't succeed, after, of course, the failure to win public support. But it also points out that it is notoriously difficult to predict the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. And they said this year there were a record number of nominees, 376 in all.
A huge amount, including Syria's White Helmet volunteers, who were the bookies' favourite, but they didn't win out in the end.
No, absolutely. A lot of people felt and hoped, I think, that the Syrian White Helmets, or Syria Civil Defence, as they are officially known, would actually take the prize. Britain's Guardian newspaper nailed its colours very firmly to the mast by saying this, that 3,000 or so volunteers deserve global recognition for risking their lives. Time magazine has released its new edition today and has a huge article on the White Helmets of Syria. This article suggests they may have saved the lives of 60,000 fellow Syrians. And of course, this article coming out, they were hoping to coincide with the Nobel Peace Prize win. The White Helmets themselves, though, have been very magnanimous in defeat. This tweet saying, "Congratulations to the people and President of Colombia. We sincerely wish them peace." But then it was shortly followed by this, which really throws the whole idea of a peace prize into perspective. At the time that the very announcement of this prize winner was announced, their own centre was actually targeted in Hama. So they're back to work, not only saving people of Syria, but saving their own workers too.
And finally, there's that old saying that I'm sure you all know, out of the mouths of babes. And Donald Trump has learnt exactly what that means, Emma, on a visit to a class of first graders in Las Vegas.
Yes, absolutely. Children do tend to say what they mean. They're not hampered by the things that us adults are, appearing impolite or inappropriate. And so when Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, went along to this school in Las Vegas, the reactions were pretty priceless. Let's take a look.
Hi, kids. Look at these great. Are they all great students?
Nice to meet you.
Is the teacher here?
Yes, thank
Good
you.
students.
Yes, we're working hard.
And as you can hear there was one child who kept repeating, "I'm nervous," along with another child who said, "I told you his hair wasn't really orange." Now, Huffington Post has been reporting on this one. They say that these first graders reacting to Trump are all of us. It's an article very clearly written by somebody who is not a fan of Donald Trump. She says these 6- and 7-year-olds, the nervous child in particular, were basically wise beyond their years and acting as a mouthpiece for Americans everywhere. And it did actually go from bad to worse, would you believe? We have some more of the images of this video. Straight afterwards, he was presented with a Bible by a small child who looks like she's going to the chair, frankly. Poor girl. She's very, very unimpressed with the idea of having to hand something over. Doesn't actually let go of it, prompting Mr. Trump to almost snatch it from her grasp. He then moves in for the old photo opportunity smooch before she walks away looking decidedly shell-shocked, poor girl. And those really are terrible images for Donald Donald Trump. Very unfortunate indeed. Quartz magazine has actually described this as one of the weirdest attempted kisses this campaign cycle. It really is one of those moments that he will wish had maybe gone a little smoother, but they do always say don't work with children or animals.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Emma James, for that spin through what's been happening on social media and the internet. Thanks very much.